Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a video on these, which are dupes of the original Artis brushes, and I've not used them, so it is my first impressions, and I will try and use all of them or majority of them on my face. Now I have already done this video, and that's why you're probably thinking, what have you done on your face? This side is everything that I've used from this box here, and this side is what I would use normally with my standard brushes and beauty blender, sponge, etc. So if you want to see what I think of these brushes or how they work, keep watching and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So firstly, I'm using my Urban Decay Original Primer Potion to just prime my eyelids. And with this, I actually prefer using my fingers because I feel that the warmth of my fingers can actually just really melt this product into my eyelids here. So I'm going to use my fingers for this. Then on top, I'm just going to be going in with my anti-eye eraser from Maybelline. And this is just to neutralize the eyelids. So I'm just applying a layer on like this, and then I'll be using one of my oval brushes to try and brush that out. So the brush I've chosen for that is this one here, and this pack doesn't actually have numbers on it, but out of the range it's the smallest oval shaped brush. And I'm literally just going to try buffing this out. It actually feels quite soft, but I think it's moving a lot of the products rather than trying to blend it out properly. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this. And this eye, I'm going to be using my damp beauty blender sponge, just so that we can see the comparison between the two types of what I would do normally before I got those brushes, compared to the use of the brushes. And I am actually preferring the beauty blender for this, because I don't know if you can see there, but it's actually kept a lot of the colour on to my eyelids, rather than this one seems quite washed away and quite patchy. So we will see what the rest of the brushes are like. So to set that, I'm using the Next Size Up brush. Again, as I said, it doesn't have any numbers on it, so it's the one that's the next size up to the brush that I used to apply the concealer. And I'm just using my Kick-Ass setting powder. Just pat some on, like so. I'll just tap off the excess and then just pat that on. So for this side, I'm using my Morphe E53 brush, and I'm just applying that onto my eyelids, and this actually feels so much softer. I overall really like the Morphe brushes, and they're so affordable and so soft when you're using them. All of them, the eyeshadow brushes, blending brushes, brow brushes, face brushes, all of them. By the way guys, did you guys watch Quantico? It is, oh my god, I did not think it was him. I won't spoil it for you, but it's a him. Oh my god, I'm actually loving it. So for the transitioning, I'm using the first brush that we used, and I'm taking the shade Peanut by Morphe, and I'm applying this brush, the powder, sorry, onto this brush, and I will work it as close to the crease as I can. This is a more skin colour shadow than even the Makeup Geek Creme Brulee that I generally tend to use. So for today's purpose, I'll be sticking to this one. It's not really made much of a difference. I'll just go back in a bit more. I feel it's a bit more rough with this. You can't do a lot of eye makeup with this. So I'm going to keep it like that for now. For the other side, I'm just taking any fluffy crease brush and using the same shadow and applying it into my crease. And I feel that these brushes are therefore more precise. Then on this side, using the same brush again, I'm taking Date Night by Morphe again and just applying the product onto my brush like this. And then we'll try and get it on the eyelid and not go all out. It's not much of a payoff here. What I might have to do is just dampen it with my Fix Plus spray. So just bear with me, guys. So it's got the Fix Plus spray on it now, and we'll see how it turns out. Yeah, that's better. But it's quite hard to keep it within the crease with this brush. On this side, however, I'm going with my MAC 239 brush, and this actually right now doesn't have the Fix Plus spray on it, so we'll see how it works. And it works better with regards to the pigmentation. So then to intensify the outer crease and just like the crease line and blend it out a bit more, I'm using the first brush in the pack, which is this small little oval brush with a rounded end to it. I think you can use this for the lips, but I'm going to be using it for the crease first. And I'm just taking Frappe by Makeup Geek, tapping off the excess and just trying and see if it works in the crease. It doesn't feel soft, it feels as if it's kind of tugging into my eyes, and this I think is purely because it's a cheaper version. I'm sure that the original one, the original Artis brush, wouldn't be doing. Not too keen. It's not really blending out properly either, to be honest. It feels as if it's tugging on my eyelids there. On the other side, I'm taking my MAC 221 brush, sorry, and applying that in the same way. And this doesn't tug at all, it's really soft. This I'm actually really liking to for the crease, but if you want a really precise crease, this is a really nice brush. This one or the Sigma E51 brush, I'll find out and I'll link it down below, but it's very similar to the Sigma brush. So if I come closer, you can see that this eye seems a bit more blended than this one. On here it just seems it is a mess, but I'm not going to touch up with the other brushes. I'm just going to leave one side how I would do it normally without those oval brushes, and the other side with the oval brushes, and we'll see how it looks. So for highlighting, I'm taking the Zoeva Nude Spectrum palette, and I'm taking this shade here, which is ND100, and I'm taking this brush, which is the second size up of this flat brush within the pack, and taking a bit of the product onto it, and let's see how it goes. With regards to packing on the colour, it's done it well. However, the colour has gone everywhere. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but in the mirror it's gone all the way down here, and that's not where I want it to go. So I will just concentrate it more here and then try and blend it out. On this side, I'll just be using a fluffy brush for that. And this one is so much better, guys. There's a lot of colour. I mean, these pigments, these shadows are so pigmented by the Zoeva in the Nude Spectrum palette, so I would recommend it for those who love your nude shades. But yeah, this one has stayed intact a bit more. So then taking the Peanut shade again by Morphe and the original smaller brush, I've tried to wipe off the colour from here I'm just passing it on to the brush and just going to try and clean up this area here. And because it is skin colour, it might just try and blend it out a bit more. On the other side, I'm just using the original blending brush that I used to start off with for the crease. I'm just softening the crease area and then working my brush up to the brow bone just to blend out any harsh lines. Then for my eyeliner, I'm using the smaller brush, and I've just taken the Maybelline gel liner, the one in black, and this is the smallest flat brush that was in the pack, and I will attempt to do my eyeliner with this. Oh my god, it is awful. Oh, this is disgusting. Okay, so these bristles go everywhere. They're not even like sucked into like a narrow point, and therefore my eyeliner is ridiculously thick. And I can't even get a nice wing to it either. It's just, ugh. It's disgusting. For this side, I'm using the Zoeva Fine Liner brush, which is number 315. So as you can see, this has got a thinner eyeliner, which is what I actually prefer, and you can get a nice wing out of it. This is a mess. If you look at close, like, you can't even get a nice wing out of it. I mean, I know there's some people who like thick eyeliners, so it wouldn't be too bad, but it's not even defined, and you don't get a nice wing out of it. It's disgusting. That brush does not work for eyeliners. So for priming my face, I'm just going to use my hands, because again with this I feel that it works better because the product warms up and it melts onto the skin. And I'm taking the Diamond Heart primer, which is like an illuminating primer. Then for my foundation, I'm taking Born This Way by Too Faced in the shade Golden, and I haven't used this foundation for ages. I don't know, when I bought it, I don't know where I put it, and then it's always been out of stock, this one, and I finally got my hands on it, so after a long time I'll be using this foundation. So again, I'll start on this side first, and I'm literally just going to take a bit on my fingers and just dot it around. And then I'm going to blend that out with one of the oval brushes. For that, I've taken the second largest brush, and let's see how it works. It feels soft on the face. I don't know whether it's just like moving the product around and not allowing it to sit on the face properly. But it feels soft on the face, so it's not tugging like the eyeshadow ones did. Well, they're not necessarily eyeshadow ones, but that's what I was using them for, because obviously these ones are too big for the eyes. It's not actually left any streaks either. Like, I actually imagined, because of what I was doing on the eyes and it pulling, I thought that this might leave like brush strokes, but it hasn't actually done that. So again, I'm just dotting the products around, and this is literally whatever I've taken on one finger. And to blend it all out, I'm using my Morphe M439 brush. Surprisingly, the other brush actually felt really soft. I didn't imagine it to, because the top of my eyes, it just felt really rough. Now I feel overall that this brush feels as if it's done a better job with regards to blending my foundation out. Still, on both sides, I think because of the consistency of the foundation, there's a few patches where I would go in and do another layer. So I'll do another dotted area on the bits where I feel need more work. Okay, so I actually didn't think I will be saying this, because this Morphe brush I can't live without. This is so good with regards to putting on my foundation. The Nancy one that looks like this as well is a really good one too, so I alternate between the two. So I really like this, but I think this is actually better. I don't know, guys. I just feel, I mean, this is the first impression, so I will work with it and see, but this felt as if it blended out my foundation a lot better. It feels a lot softer even than this one, whereas this was really soft to start off with anyway. But I just feel it works that much better. But we'll see what the end result is like. So for highlighting, I'm taking my standard Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer by Urban Decay, and I will be using the applicator to apply it to my usual spots, which is under my eyes, like an upside down triangle, down the bridge of my nose, tiny bit on my forehead, and just under the areas where I would normally contour. Now this is so good, I mean, just with one brush stroke, and there's still loads left on the applicator, you get your whole face done pretty much, so it lasts ages, this one. This side I'm going to be using the second largest oval brush just to see how that works on my face. Again, it feels quite soft on my face, but I don't know if it's blending it out as well as I would have wanted it to. I think it's just literally moving the product rather than actually blending it, but we will see. Do this bottom bit. On the other side, I will be using my Beauty Blender sponge. So overall, I feel that my Beauty Blender sponge has actually soaked up the excess products that I don't need and blended out the highlighted area a lot better, and it doesn't look as cakey as this side. This side feels as if there's an extra layer of product on top, which there is an extra layer, but you don't want it to feel that way, whereas this side it feels that way. And I have a feeling that once I've put my setting powder and literally just set my face, it might look a bit more cakey. I don't know, we'll see. So just to set the areas that I've highlighted, I'm taking the same brush again and using my Kick-Ass setting powder and just applying that underneath. And along here. This time I'm literally just patting it like I would with my other brush, because I don't want to move any products that I've applied underneath. I don't want it to move it around. On the other side, I'm using my Zoeva Luxe Face Focus brush and applying that to the same areas. So overall I feel this felt quicker to get around to do my setting, whereas the other one I felt as if I needed to pat it a bit more to try and get the product onto my skin. For contouring, I'm just going to stick with powder contouring today, and I'm taking my Sleek contour kit in the shade Medium, and firstly, just to apply it onto my face, I'm taking the largest of the flat domed type brushes, taking some of the product on, tapping off excess and just applying it to the areas where I would normally contour. And then I'm taking the smallest of the oval brushes just to buff all that out. And this, I haven't put any product on it. It's not actually blending out nicely how I would want it to. This actually feels more dense than the other one that I applied the foundation with. I mean, this brush might be good for applying cream products, like a cream contour, and just to help buff that out. But for powder, it's not really working. For this side, I'm taking my Morphe brush, which is the M523 brush. Just taking a bit of the product onto the brush, tapping off any excess, and just going into the same spots. So this side definitely looks a lot more blended than this side. This side seems a bit too patchy on the face. Now, it could be purely because of the way the brushes work. It could be better just for cream or liquid based products, but I'm not too sure on this. Then just to set the rest of my face and just blend out any harsh lines that I can see, I'm going to take the largest of the oval brushes, and I'm just taking my Studio Fix foundation in the shade NC 43.5, just patting some onto the brush, tapping off any excess, and literally just trying to pat it on to my face. It's massive, this brush. For this side of the face, I'm using my Lottie powder brush, and again just tapping off any excess and just applying a thin layer just to set the rest of my face. And this feels so much better. It's so much lighter. This side feels as if I put loads and loads of layers on, and this side doesn't feel that bad. For my blush, I'm going in with the brush again, which was a second size up of the oval shaped, and I'm just taking my L'Oreal blush in the shade Peach, and this smells really nice. It's not too powerful, but it's got this really nice summery sweet type smell, so it's really nice. And again, I'm just patting the product on, taking off any excess and attempting just to apply the blush. I think I'll leave it as that. On the other side, I'm using my Lottie blush brush. So I feel that this side is blended out more, whereas this side it feels really like patchy in this area here. For highlighting, I'm using the smallest of the oval shaped brushes, and I'm using my Shaliha Hollywood Gold highlight, and this is a really nice gold highlight, guys. I really like the packaging. I haven't applied it on my face yet. I have swatched it and it is really gold, so we'll see how it turns out on my face. Okay, so this is got such a nice shine onto it, but it's so patchy. I'm going to try and swap it with a larger brush. So I've got the larger brush. I don't have any products on it because I just want to try and blend out this harsh highlight, but it's not blending. Guys, look at the shine on that. It is such a nice highlight if applied properly. Yeah, it's not budging. It's still looking harsh and streaky, so not good. On this side, I'm taking my Spectrum brush, and this is like a multi-purpose brush which can be used to set foundation, set under the eyes, apply highlight, which I'm doing now. And let's see how this one works. Yeah, This is so nice, and I've just taken the tiniest amount on my face. It is so nice. So I've applied a black pencil on my lower waterline and a thin layer of mascara as well on both my top and lower lashes. I don't want to put any false lashes on because I want you guys to see what the makeup looks like, and a lot of the time the false lashes can mask the effects of what's going on top. Moving on to my brows, I'm literally just taking my brow pencil that I would use normally, but I'm going to be applying it with the smaller brush, the smallest one that I used for my eyeliner, and I'm just literally taking the colour onto the brush and applying it. Wow, it's major dark. It's actually not that bad. It works well for the brows. So if you like your thick brows, it works. If you like your thin brows, I very much doubt it would work. On this side, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm taking my Nancy angled detailer brush, and which is just like a standard angled brush, so you can use any that you have. Literally applying the product onto my brush and then just applying it. So they both are pretty good. This side does seem a bit thicker, so if you do like your heavy, thick brows, that's fine. That brush worked really well. It was quicker to apply the brow product as well compared to this. This, however, is more defined. So if you like your thinner brows, or you need to get into those really tiny nooks and, you know, like really make it precise in the particular areas, I think a smaller brush or angled brush would work better. But the other smaller brush that I used on this side works just as a general all over brow brush. Moving on to the lips, I'm going to be using Velvet Teddy by MAC, and I'll be applying that with the small domed brush on one side of my lip. Let's see how it goes. I actually don't like the way I gotta hold it to apply the lip product. Make it as defined, but I feel there's a lot of product that's stuck on the bristles, and therefore you get a lot of wastage of the product. On the other side, I'm just using any standard lip brush. So it's really easy to define the lines with a normal lip brush, and because it's closely packed, densely packed, you get the product on the brush and it will go straight onto your lips rather than getting absorbed within the bristles. So that's my look complete, guys. This side is using these brushes, a variety of them, and this side is just using any standard brush or a variety of brushes that I would use on a day-to-day basis. This whole set cost me about 45 or 50 pounds, whereas the original Artiste set, I think one that is similar to this size, which was the oval 7 or 8, something like that, is about 65 pounds alone, just this brush of the original Artiste brushes. So overall I'm getting this whole pack for the price of one brush or even less. So I thought I would try this whole set out and see how it is, and what do I think? Nah, not worth it. Even though it is just 45 pounds compared to what the original Artiste brushes would be, it's not worth it. I personally would stick with my standard brushes that I would use normally. I do, however, like this brush, which is a size second one in to from the largest size. I do like it for my foundation. It does still feel quite sticky on this side, meaning I think there's quite a lot of product and layering going on rather than buffing it out. But overall, if I'm in a rush or anything, I do like this brush because it really blended out my foundation a lot quicker than my Morphe brush did on the other side. The other brushes is a waste. I'm literally just going to bin them. They are a waste. I will pass them on to anybody who wants to try them out. So I will ask my friends and family, obviously after washing them, if they want to give it a go, and if they personally like it, by all means have it. This massive one, if I can get it out, this one I think would work really well for people who like tanning their skin and using it on their actual skin. So you can really buff the product wherever you want to tan or apply your fake tan. So I will probably pass this over to someone who likes that. But overall, definitely I think it's not worth the money for these dupes. I cannot compare them to the original Artis brushes because I haven't tried them out, but I think the principle of them would be pretty much the same. I think what I've read about them, they are really soft and do not streak like these didn't for my face. For my eyes, it did not work, so I don't know if they are worth anything for the eyes, but for the face they might be. But I didn't like these dupes. The packaging on them and everything is really nice. It's got little flexy head to it, so if you do want to really buff it in, you're not restricted and it's not too harsh. You do have that flexibility. But for my eyes, look how ridiculous it is. It is awful, and these streaking of the blush and the highlight, I do not like it for that reason. So I hope you guys like this video of me showing you how my dupes of the Artis brush works against my normal daily routine brushes that I would use. If you do like this video, definitely thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and it's very quick and easy. You will literally see my name below this video, which is Be Beautiful by Benita, and underneath it there'll be the subscribe button. If you're using a mobile device, it will probably be on the other side, but literally just hit the subscribe button and you will be subscribed to my channel. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in my next video.